Welcome to a quick update on the coronavirus and the impact that that's having on people's businesses. Obviously, there's a bit of stress in the air, and we're hoping just to cut through a bit of that and give you a bit more clarity around, what options there are for your business over the coming months, and in particular, what we should be doing now in the coming days, just to make sure we can be in the best position possible to deal with what's coming. We don't have a lot of info from the government so far. We've got the high-level releases around the stimulus packages. The key items of note we'll just cover off in a second, but we'll just keep it as simple as possible. Obviously, each business is a little bit different, so you'll certainly be able to lock in a time with myself or one of the other team members just to go through your options. Hopefully, you're starting to receive the emails and text messages through from our team trying to lock in a time just to have a quick chat around what we can do for you. I've got a few frequently asked questions here we'll go through. They tend to be popping up over and over, so I thought maybe this would be a quicker way to get the message out to everyone. Also, as you probably can expect, I'm getting smashed with phone calls and emails, so I'm just trying to get back to everyone as quickly as I can. But hopefully there's enough info here to at least answer a few questions for you. If not, obviously, please reach out. I'd love to have a chat to you. So a common one we're getting is, how long is this going to take? How long are we going to go through all of this? The answer is we're not really sure. A lot of the government agencies are kind of telling us to shut down for at least 2 months or 6 months. I would be planning for the worst, and if we can get back online, in 3 or 4 months, that would be a really good outcome. But sadly, I think this is probably going to run into probably 6 months plus. Another one we're getting asked a lot is, should we shut down the business? This is a case-by-case basis. We certainly don't want to be making any knee-jerk reactions. Some businesses have been told to shut down, and so that's taken out of their hands. They're probably the ones that we want to be trying to help ASAP, and then the flow on for your hospitality businesses and face-to-face kind of businesses that are out there. They're the ones that are really feeling the pinch right now. How do we receive the stimulus package? There's not a whole lot we can do at the moment. We can register everyone from 1st of April, so we'll work with you guys to get you registered and ready to go. The stimulus package itself is claimed through the business activity statement, so you won't physically receive any money back, but your BAS payment will effectively be a lot less than it normally would, because the PAYG tax will be eliminated from that BAS. I'll take you through what that means a little bit further on. Actions to take. So this is really important. It's going to be important now for probably the next week or so. We're expecting some more stimulus packages to be released in the coming days and weeks. We're not entirely sure what that's going to include. We can have a best guess, but for the package that's already been released, there's some things that we can be doing now to try and help our cash flow within the business. We'll just run through those really quickly. So number one, we're just got to conserve as much cash as we can within the business and personally. That means trimming down overheads, going to your landlord, asking for a free rent period, talking to your banks around the business loans. They're all in a position to be able to help you out, particularly the banks. There's 6 months grace on loan repayments and things like that we're hearing around in the market. It would definitely be worthwhile having that conversation. What does that mean? Basically, you wouldn't pay anything for 6 months. The interest on the loan would capitalise, and then the loan period will be extended at the end of the loan. So that might not be for 5 or 10 years away, but the interest amount that would accrue in that period might be the difference between getting you through and getting your business through. Likewise with the rent, speak to your landlord or your agent, get on the front foot and just see what can be done. Our gut feel is that the government will start putting a lot of pressure on the landlords to allow you to have a rent-free period. At the moment, that hasn't been finalised, so we don't want to be doing this in 5 weeks' time when it's really hard. Get on the front foot, talk to your landlord or your agent now, and just see what can be done. A big one will be around employees. So unfortunately, when anything like this, and this is basically unprecedented, but for anyone that potentially will have to shut down their business or put employees on leave. You really need to know your rights around what that looks like. Unfortunately, we know there's going to be a lot of terminations. We want to make sure you're protected and we do everything by the book. Likewise, for your employees, they probably need to be aware of what that looks like for them as well. We've got some really great resources that we can put you in touch with if you'd like us to do that. There are payroll experts out there that will be able to take you through step by step what it would mean for you, and also what it would mean for your employees as well. Anything else along those lines, I would certainly be saying to you guys, lock in a time to catch up on this email. There'll be a link to my diary to lock in a quick chat. It's really important that we get on the front foot and we have a bit of a chat around what we can do for you, because things are moving really, really fast and it's hard to keep up with them. So in terms of the actual stimulus that's been announced, there's basically been 3 packages so far. There's been 2 from the federal government, both within a couple of days, and then today, on Monday the 23rd of March, has been the Victorian state government announcement, and also if you're around Australia and other states, they're starting to release their stimulus packages as well. We might start with the federal one because that's probably got the biggest impact for our client base. The big one being the PAYG that you would withhold on wages for your employees is basically being put on hold. So the government is going to basically not allow you to pay 100% of the PAYG that you would withhold from your employees. So that is happening in 2 stages. Stage 1 will basically be up to $50,000, okay, from 1st of January to probably 30 June, but it will go beyond that, I would say. Up to $50,000, the ATO will credit you back whatever that PAYG amount is. And within that period, in September or October, they're going to give you a one-off payment for the same credit amount, effectively giving you up to $100,000 of extra cash flow. If you're a business that employs people but doesn't withhold tax, you'll be given a one-off payment of $10,000, okay? And that will be it. So it's really important that we're planning around how we're going to pay you as business owners. There's numerous ways that we've done in the past, depending on how your structure's set up, whether you're a company or a trust. You can be paid different ways. I'll be working with you over the next 2 months to work out what's the best way to maximise this stimulus. As I said, we can't really do anything until April, so we're kind of hoping that'll tick over really quickly, and I'm sure it will with everything that's happening. But we register you from 1st of April for the stimulus package. Within that time, I'll speak to you individually. We'll work out a plan of attack for you and your business moving towards June 30, and then make sure we can maximise what you're going to get out of the package. The other one, the big one there, was that the instant write-off has been increased from $30,000 per asset to $150,000 per asset. Obviously, we're in a position where we're trying to conserve cash, but some businesses will have equipment and things that they'll need to buy, so it's something to think about. Also, that does allow you to write off a big piece of equipment if you've borrowed money to fund it, so that's something to think about as well. So as part of our strategy when we're working together, that will certainly be something we'll have a look at as well. In terms of flexibility with the ATO, this is probably the most important thing other than the PAYG. Any existing debts and that are in place or debts that are coming up, the ATO are going to be a lot more flexible around setting up payment plans, due dates. They're not going to be pushing it as hard as they were for payment. And that could be a really good strategy for us to chat about. We're certainly not in the position where we want to be avoiding anything with the ATO, but they've made it really clear that they're going to use the ATO as a bit of a device to make things a bit easier for small business. We'd also expect in the future that lodgement due dates, tax return due dates, BAS due dates will all get pushed out just to take the pressure off a little bit. So there's a few different things that are happening. That's not one that's kind of set in stone yet, but we're expecting to happen, in the future. Look, as I said before, we're all kind of going through this together. As a small business rising tides, we're there with you. We're feeling the same pressure. So, it's really important that if you're battling or if you're really worried about it, that you contact us. We'll be, proactive anyway, trying to get in touch with everyone. The more we hear from you, the better. We want to make sure that you guys are set up for as best as possible to get yourself through the coming months. likewise, we'll probably send through a weekly update, maybe more, depending on how things change. It is kind of confusing, some of the info that the government put out, so we're just trying to wash our way through it as best as possible, and then we'll just give you an update as they come to hand. All right, all the best. Stay healthy, guys, and we'll be in touch shortly. Cheers.